Hello, 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 and welcome to DearDana. Hello, Paranormal Witch. Hello, how are you? And welcome in the bushes. Welcome in the chat that might be trickling in. It is a Wednesday night. Hello, Shelly Marie. My beautiful mods are here. Paranormal Witch Willow, Shelly Marie. I'm so grateful for you and whoever may be trickling in. Tonight I decided to do Empaths and the holidays. They are creeping quickly upon us. We just had summer and daylight savings, and wham! Here come the holidays. Just like that. And with me, I know just as soon as the holidays are over, I'm already feeling spring start to come back on. That's just the way it is in the South. We have pretty much two seasons, hot and holidays. But I felt like it was important to take on how empaths feel during the holidays. I feel like a lot of people who watch my channel, hello Marie Crumb, are probably leaning toward being empathic. A lot of people have those tendencies and don't realize it. So I felt like, let's create a toolbox for empaths, right? No one ever pretty much taught me how to deal with that. I always knew that when I, even when I adore my brothers, my mom, my aunts, my uncles, cousins, everybody, that holidays kicked my butt. The shopping, the Thanksgiving, the everything. I never knew why I was just so cooked when being around everybody. But we're going to address that tonight, and maybe it will help you to be able to conserve your energy and enjoy them just a little bit more. Yeah, so let's get on this thing. I am going to drop the intros really quick, and we will talk about it. Okay? Here we go. Here we go. Where are my intros at? Where did they go? Are they changing it up on me? Here it goes. There you go. 8 o'clock used to be my regular time. Now, Kavina is slowing down a little bit, but 8 o'clock is a popular time. And I pushed it back because a couple of creators, a new one, Make It Make Sense, had started his, and I tried to push it back so we wouldn't be doing the thing at the same time. But my husband came in with a wild hair to start working on the cabinets, doing some repairs and making noise. Hopefully you won't hear it from here. And I was like, ooh, he got that wild hair. So I pushed it, hoping a lot of banging and sawing would not be heard from here. So that's why I am at this time. So hopefully the replay gang will also get something out of this. Before we get started, I hope you don't mind, Paranormal Witch. She is going in for surgery at 8:30 in the morning. So all of you lovely light workers and good-hearted, beautiful people, please wrap her in light and prayers in the morning that all goes smoothly and quickly and beautifully, and that her healing goes quickly as well. I just have a gut feeling it's going to go wonderfully, but it never hurts for extra love and light prayers for Paranormal Witch. Thank you so very much. She is one of our lovely mods. I never see the wrenches on my end. Do not know why. But if you will do that for me, I would greatly appreciate it. Now, we're talking about empaths and holidays. How many of you just in general. When you are around crowds, I don't care if it's a hyped up crowd or a low down crowd or family things or holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Hanukkah, all of that stuff, it can be the best time you've ever had, and you feel drained and sucked dry and just when you're in the midst of it. I know that after the whole holiday occurrence, look, Thanksgiving can be over, and it will take me 1 or 2 days to recuperate from it. My booty will be whipped for a couple of days. I will have to have recovery time. The same with Christmas. I'm missing the shopping gene altogether. I like shopping to get people gifts. I like to really get thoughtful things. When they have one of my brothers can get anything he wants anytime he wants. He is the most difficult person to shop for ever because there is pretty much nothing I could buy him almost that he does not have. I have to really go to the ends of the earth in my brain, hey, Arseny, to figure out something that brother doesn't have or couldn't get himself. That one brother. Now, don't get me wrong. He's grateful for anything I get him pretty much. He's just one of those, he can get what he wants anytime. But be that as it may, I digress. Being in crowds of people, if I go to the big Walmart, the super Walmart, hello, Rosemary. If I go to the super Walmart, especially the grocery side where the aisles are in a different direction and you get trapped in those aisles by families, it will just zap my energy dry. I kid you not. So there is this whole thing about energy. So what I want to tell you is, do you feel that way during the holidays, or does it energize you? I want to know. I want to know. You in the bushes too. I want to know your experiences. Or have you ever thought about it, or is it just making sense to you now? It really affects my energy. At some point, I hit a wall. And I'm like, done, cooked, out of the oven. I got to go. No more for Dana. I don't care what else I got to do. It's time to go. So here is what I am beginning to realize, especially if you're an empath. I know we have talked about it before. You can go into a room that's hyped up, especially when you were a teenager. You probably loved it. If everybody was hyped up, you were absorbing all that amped up energy. Ooh, ooh, yeah, baby. I love it. You were absorbing all that energy if you were an empath. Charged to the skies. And you may have gone, ooh, later. Arseny says, me too. That's why we go Christmas shopping 3 weeks early. I know I know a lot of bodies in the South that start Christmas shopping immediately after Christmas. Not me. Not me. But if you are an empath, you will often absorb the energy of others around you like a sponge. And if you are a green empath, meaning you don't even realize what you're doing, and maybe you are not aware even that you are an empath, you will absorb that energy like SpongeBob SquarePants. And you may even be feeling some way sometimes, and you'll be like, "Oh, I feel sad," or "Oh, I feel irritated," or "I'm feeling unusually happy," and I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know why I'm feeling this way. It just came out of the blue. Hey, Sea Cruise. Thank you for coming by. You're cooking dinner right now. Oh, I wonder what you're cooking. Sounds yum. My husband is in there with Sanders, and I don't know. He's destroying my kitchen right now. So there's no cooking going on in there. But anyway, you may pick up on people's emotions and not realize it and be feeling their emotions and don't know where it's coming from as an empath and not know how to deviate what emotion belongs to you and what emotion belongs to another person. You don't want that. You don't want to be a walking SpongeBob SquarePants. So if you recognize or suspect you are an empath, it is super important to learn how to do the conscious breathing on a daily, first and foremost. Have the awareness to do the breathe in through your nose to the count of 4 slowly. Hold it to 4. Breathe out slowly to the count of 4. And as you do so, imagine a cocoon of white light around you, or even a snow globe of white light around you as a protective field. And I typically, I deal with angels. Ever since I had the NDE, I deal with angels all day, every day. And I ask for the assist to surround me with a cocoon of white light of protection, period. When I leave the house, I try never to forget. And I can feel it occurring, and it makes a significant difference. Always. You can feel the difference. And even if you question that cocoon, it brings up an awareness in your mind. It brings up that awareness in your mind of boundaries. When you're going out in public, when you're going around family, you have to have those boundaries. It's a must. Marie Crum says, I worked at a major department store in their advertising department in Pittsburgh. I hated leaving the store during the holidays. It was so hard to get in and out of that store. Do you mean in the parking lot? Or literally walking in and out of the store? We are all with you, Paranormal Witch. I assure you, my spirit is surrounding you. I just feel it's going to go smoothly. And the fact they're taking you early in the morning is a good sign. You always want the doctors fresh, for one thing. You want them fresh. When you're doing, no, it was 12 floors and we were on the top floor. Oh, gotcha. Look, when I have to park, even if you want to test if your angels are around and you ask for their assistance, There are different kinds of angels. There are runner angels, and there are, I forgot, I got a glitch. I will ask for assistance from my angels. I will visualize where I have to go. Oftentimes, if it's like I have to go to the MS Center in Atlanta, sometimes it's difficult to find a parking space. I will ask my runner angels to go ahead of me. I will visualize the medical building where I have to go. Literally, I will ask for their assist. I will visualize the building. I will visualize a space opening up right in front of where I have to go and ask for their assist. Seriously. And either right when I get there will be a space that opens up right when I get there, right in front of where I'm visualized, or the space will already be there. I thank them ahead of time, and I thank them when I get there. That is key. Key. You thank them for their assistance beforehand, and you thank them when you get there. Always, always, always be grateful. Always. So if you want to start communicating with your angels, you have to ask for their assistance because you have free will. Remember what I told you before? They are not allowed to intervene in your life unless your life is in danger and it is not your time. They are not allowed to intervene against your free will unless your life is in danger and it is not your time. So you must ask for their assistance. That is key. And you always thank them beforehand and afterhand, and always be grateful. So you can ask your runner angels to go ahead of time. So, that being said, insofar as protecting yourself as an empath, you can take crystals. I do that too in my pocket. I'll usually take a piece of selenite because that's my go-to. Your go-to might be something else. You have to see what you connect with. Your go-to might be a piece of amethyst for protection and stress relief. It can bring you clarity of thought and relief from grief. Now, I do gravitate toward amethyst as well. It does repel negative energy. Amethyst is also the stone of a healer. That's primarily why I gravitate toward it. You might gravitate toward citrine. It has protection properties. You just have to go to a place sometimes that has stones. I don't know if they have them near you. Citrine can reduce stress and exhaustion and help with calm. You might gravitate toward moonstone. Moonstone has a protective talisman towards it. You might gravitate toward opal. It has protective properties against negative energy. You might gravitate toward rose quartz. Now we know that rose quartz is like the love stone, and it brings self-love too, right? And it can help in deflecting negativity. There's so many that can help with that. You have to see what you gravitate toward more. You see what I'm saying? There are so many. There are protective stones that, like tourmaline. Black tourmaline is a good one. I don't necessarily carry black tourmaline because although it can be very protective with energy, sometimes it keeps out energy that I need to be connected to for my other abilities. Does that make sense? So I have to pick and choose. Yes, Willow, like Arsene said, we are all surrounding you with love and prayers and energy. You have a lot of strong healing energy in here surrounding you. I know it's scary. And all of us can send her healing and loving messages. All those that are connected. She'll have to go in earlier than 8, but I would rather go in early. She's got to go in a couple of hours early, and before she knows it, it's going to be done, done, done. But anyway, take a stone that you resonate with in your pocket when you're out. I have selenite. It's a very strong stone, and I resonate with it at a high, high level. So it helps me. Listen, too, when you go on these family outings, and you know how you can go to the bigger ones where it's your brothers, your sisters, your nieces, your nephews, your uncles, your whatever. And it's just a lot of people. Make an appointment with yourself for a minute. Take a 2-minute time out. Go to the bathroom for 2 minutes. Step outside and get air. And take a break from the crowd that you're in. And do a 2-minute meditation or breath work. Just to recenter and dust off some of the energy. Do, the breathing, conscious breathing for a moment. Settle your own energy down. Right? You don't have to be immersed in all of the chaos the whole time. You don't. You don't have to be immersed in all of the chaos all the time. Like at Thanksgiving, this year it's going to be at my house. Everybody probably will arrive at 1 o'clock. And by 4 or 4:30, they'll probably be strolling out, give or take, because they'll be turkeyed up and tired out. Everybody will do their little to-go things, and they'll be splitting up, right? Shelly says she's holding her selenite now. Now, you can take the selenite. I've got pieces where they're shaped like a wand, and it's not to do magical spells. Let me tell you why. You know how at the airport, they'll scan you with the wand to see if you have metal or whatever on you, right? I'm going to pretend like this is a selenite wand, which it's not. Okay. You can take a selenite wand, and go over your body like this. And literally feel anything that's clinging to you energetically that does not belong to you come off. You can feel it come off of your body. Seriously. It just sort of brushes away anything that does not belong to you, like little toxic energy, little dibs and dabs that belong to other people. You've been out and about. If you have a selenite wand, you can run it over your body, your child's body, your husband's body, the dog. And it sort of like cleanses your energy, so to speak. And that's why I'd get a wand, right? Because you can sort of cleanse your aura, your spirit, for lack of better. What tends to cling to you that you can't see with the naked eye? If you had a high-powered microscope, a very high-powered microscope, and you took a selenite wand where it could see what was going, you would see a difference. You would see a difference. You can feel a difference. But you would definitely see a difference if you had a high-powered microscope. Insofar as what I keep near me, I have this one's, you cannot wet selenite, first and foremost, but I keep a selenite tower at my desk, and I have one beside my bed at my headboard. On my nightstand. So does my husband, and he has one at his desk. And I believe Eden has one at her headboard. I do believe in them. I have seen the difference. And as I've gotten more spiritually elevated over time, I have studied different ones, and I will not go without selenite. Period. I just won't. Absolutely right. Shelley Marie's correct. She says she has a selenite bowl. You can put other crystals in the bowl to charge your crystals, and you can cleanse all your crystals with selenite. You don't have to put them in the sun, etc. You can cleanse all your crystals with selenite. Paranormal says, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. It means a lot of War Pinnacle for protection everywhere I go. Positive energy. And some people just need their cross. Cross makes me feel protected. I have a cross and an angel in my wallet. I also have those, a cross and an angel. And because of my NDE, like I've told Shelley and some others, if you come in my house, it won't be blatantly in your face. It will not be blatantly in your face, but you will see angels tucked in my house. You won't walk in the house and go, gosh, she's got angels everywhere. But if you look closely, you will see angels all over my house. For a reason. For a reason. I have more selenite pieces, a short one, and several olives. That's my crystal I gravitate to. I knew we had a reason we were connected, Shelley. I knew we had a reason. Shelley Marie, how are your pain levels? By the way, I want to know. While we're here, I didn't ask you today, how are your pain levels? And I did hypnosis with Shelley yesterday, and she's pretty good. I hope you don't mind, Shelley, that I said something. She goes under very well. Shelley Marie goes under hypnosis very well. She's a good one. Also, when you're out for the holidays, do not feel guilty when you've got so many things going on. Empaths are the world's worst, guilty about learning to say no to people. Mark time on your calendar for you. I have found as an empath, among other things, that was the first thing I knew that I was, that we are the world's worst about saying no to people. We feel guilty about saying no to people, about lots of things. Good, pain levels are low. Good. I want them gone, because before they were gone. So I'm assuming your sciatica has gone back up. I'm assuming your sciatica is back up, Shelley. We are the world's worst about saying no to people. So I'm asking you, on a calendar during the holidays, schedule time in for yourself. Period. So if people are asking you to do stuff, you've already scheduled time in for your... But about a 1. Shelley, do some stretching. Grab your sink. Step back as far as you can. Widen your legs and dip down like you're coming up underwater, like a dolphin, and stretch your back out. You went out with your mom and did too much, See if that will help. Like come up like a dolphin, like you're coming up underwater. Stretch your legs out and then do like you're diving to stretch your back. And if that doesn't work, I'll send more energy. Anyway, going back, we are the world's worst about saying no. So I'm asking you all, make an appointment with yourself in your calendar or make a few. So if people say, are you busy XYZ? You are not lying when you say you have an appointment. Do you understand what I'm saying? You are not lying when you say you already have a scheduled appointment because you have scheduled an appointment with yourself. Empaths do not have a problem being alone with themselves. Does this sound like you? They do not have a problem being alone with themselves because we get so, it doesn't mean you don't like people. You love people, but you get so much energy from people that you need a break to be alone with yourself. And you don't have a problem being with yourself because your mind stays busy and you can always find something to do. And you need that time to clear out the energy to decompress. So your spirit, your body, your mind, your spirit, your emotions can decompress, to clear out, to squeeze that sponge out where you have taken in so many emotions and feelings and everything of others. You can be around people. RC says, yes, yes, yes. Both me and my wife are like that. Amen, amen, amen. I am like that. I have to decompress and squeeze it all out, like cleaning your palate, but you're cleaning your whole spirit. Rosemary says, you're exactly right about the feeling better alone. It's like you just have to, you have to just clean it all out. You have to call the light. I have to call the light. It's almost like I have to get back in my NDE experience, get back in the light. I have to get back in the light. Michael from Inspire Nation, he's a very inspirational spiritual channel. He spoke to me and said, Dana, when you are working with people with your gifts, go back to the light, to your NDE, and reconnect with God and the angels. Go back there. And I have been doing that when I'm working with people with my gifts. It's been so much more effective. Why didn't I think about just going straight back there instead of just working to meditate, to connect with the angels? Just go straight back there because I remember it like it was yesterday, right? And it just is so peaceful. And I remember it like it was yesterday. And that light. And so when I'm doing some of these conscious breathing exercises with you, and I call upon that star with the light leaking all of that beautiful healing white light through your body, I have method to my madness. I have method to my madness. I want you to be so engulfed in that light that you can access it when you are all feeling that overwhelmed. And you can take that 2, 3, 4 minutes when you're in a group setting with people, when you're out shopping, when you're in the bathroom. So you can take just a few minutes of that me time when you're in a stressful situation, or you're not feeling good, or you're in pain. And just but the problem is a lot of empaths worry, especially if they're not more self-aware, about disappointing people. Disappointing people. Shelley says, love being by myself, but I do have a couple of people in my life that I enjoy being myself with. Haha, makes sense? Yeah, it definitely makes sense. You do have some people in your life you can be yourself with, you don't get drained by. Those are the best, right? Those are the best. I don't get drained by Noah. That's my son. I don't get drained by Eden and Steven, generally. My husband and my daughter. My son that's passed, by the way, here we are moving up on Thanksgiving, a week from Thursday. And I must say, some of you don't know me well, some of you've heard it. I told Shelly, he is making his toys go off as a sign to let the rest of the family, myself too, know that he is around. They have not gone off in a while, and they are starting to go off on their own. We lost him 4 years ago. Some of the toys do not have batteries. Some of them do, and they should be not working by now. So he is giving us the signals. Scared the poop out of our puppy dog, who is, Cleo will be a year old in February, I believe. But she had never heard that happen, and she through the air. But he is showing us he is here with us at the holidays. Some of you will think I'm crazy, but it is true, and if I can capture it on my camera, I will. You'll hear the audio. But we put it in a place where it can't be triggered or touched by us or the animals. Anyway, with my family, I'm with my husband and my daughter. I don't feel like that, right? But it's important to have a place that it's important to get in your cave. Each time you go to a holiday party or you have to go to one of these things or go shopping, have your little cave that you can go back to and scan your body. Close your eyes, breathe for a moment, and just sort of go within and scan your body and see if all your pieces of light and pieces of self are back to you. Right? See if everything's back to being you again. Because you know how we're like, oh, hey, Aunt so-and-so. Hey, Uncle, haven't seen you in a while. And you're doing this and that and the other. And you feel like you have to pull everything back in. Right? And then I just have to like, woo, baby, give me my t-shirt, give me my sweatpants. And then you'll find empaths will get so stressed out that you'll have those that eat. Give me the chocolate, give me the ice cream, give me the bread, give me the whatever, right? You have the empaths that will eat, that cushion themselves that way, make themselves feel better. And then you'll have the empaths that do what to make themselves feel better? Some might have a drink. Some might smoke. Some might get it on. Go get them a hottie. You don't know. But they have to have some kind of self-fulfilling, feel good, feel better, some of them. Not all of them. Some might sleep. Some might sleep. Some might have a hobby. Some might just want to veg out. Some might be more spiritually advanced and do something else. You just don't know. It just depends on how aware they are of what is actually happening, right? I tend to fall asleep. Maybe I'll have ice cream. I don't know. But if it's Thanksgiving and stuff, girl, I don't want more food. Typically, I don't want more food. I've been cooking so much, it's like, ooh, I don't want more. I've smelled it. I don't. Mm-mm. But we have to be really self aware and have self care and set up a protocol to take care of ourselves in this, right? We know it's coming. So it's time to get our gear ready. What are you going to do for you in this? You know it's coming. Don't just be stubborn and hit it headstrong, and don't prepare to take care of yourself. Have boundaries, step away, breathe, meditate for a little bit, hide out in the bathroom if you have to, check out early if you have to. You don't have to do a Black Friday. Who in here does Black Friday right after Thanksgiving? You pretty much, I can look in this list and say, you're an empath, you're an empath, you're pretty much tell all of you pretty much are empaths in here, I would be willing to bet. And how many of you are all running out on Black Friday? I do not. Have not, will not. I refuse. An empath running out on Black Friday, please. If you are doing that, you are asking, you're aching for a breaking. That's all I can say. If you're an empath running out on Black Friday, you are aching for a breaking. Because let me tell you something. I worked in retail when I was younger. Good. Everything they are marking down on Black Friday is going to be the same markdown Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all the other days after. And they've already pre-marked it down before if you look online. I am fighting no woman for nothing in the stores. Mm-mm. You could not pay me to go out on Black Friday. No, thank you. I do not want it that bad. Remember, I don't have the shopping gene, first of all. I don't want it that bad. Maybe it's exciting to some people. Hello, Kathy. She says never did and never will. Never did and never will. This almost looked like Kathy Hilton for a minute. Almost. No, I would never do that. And going back to, we are always worried about disappointing somebody. I know this whole Thanksgiving thing. Let me tell you, I have been painting walls, painting cabinets in my kitchen, in my bathroom. Why? I called it a depressed house. We've been doing better, but since we lost Noah, I can say it's been a little bit of a depressed house. We've been doing better, but you can see the difference in the house since we lost him. We all stayed better on top of it. Now, it's not a horror house by any stretch of the imagination, but I can see the difference. So I thought to myself, and there were things that needed to be fixed. Having Thanksgiving at my house is the best reason to fix the problems. And my husband griped and moaned. And I also know psychologically, if I start getting on it, they will feel guilty and will be right behind me. And they are. Girl, boys. I am crazy as they come, I guess, because I can't believe I've done this. And Because one of my brother, the very successful brother that has everything that I can't think of anything to buy him, his house is meticulous. Story time. I adore my brothers. They both literally have hearts of gold. I kid you not. I'm not making it up. They have hearts of gold. My brother, that's 14 months younger than me, is a very successful one with a huge house, but he is a little very OCD. I'm trying to put it lightly. He's a little OCD. If there is a speck anywhere in that house, hey, vintage optimism, we need love and prayers to Willow, to Paranormal Witch Pixie. She has surgery in the morning. So please, prayers and love to her. But my 14 months younger brother than me he's not diagnosed with it, but he has OCD. If there is a speck on the floor, he will find it. I kid you not. That house, trust me, they live in it, but it looks like nobody lives in it. There is, yes, full on prayers. Hey, Sarah, that house is meticulous. Meticulous. I am not joking. There is nothing out of place. I picked up a glass and a drip went from my glass on the floor. And my beautiful sister-in-law, I thought she was going to have a coronary getting that drop off the floor before my brother saw it. That's how meticulous that house is. So to invite my brother and his wife to my house, and my brother is that clean of a freak, and I have 3 dogs, I was like, what have I done? What have I done? And my little brother, I say little, he's way bigger than me, could care less. So you see what I'm saying. So what have I done? So here I am, worried too much about all of that. Worried how they're going to feel, what they're going to think, blah, 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 blah. I shouldn't. And then I've got to cook all Thanksgiving, most of it. Yes, Arseny, what have I done to myself? So now I'm looking at my house with different eyeballs, thinking all these people are coming to my house for Thanksgiving, and I've got to get Thanksgiving ready next week. So this week I'm trying to get my house presentable. So it made me look at things in a different way, and it's a 1955 house that they added on to both ends of it in the 70s to make it bigger. And it's not a little house, it's just a strange house. And the man that added on to this house took his own life. He took his own life. They say it wasn't in this house, but I think that's a big fat lie. Because my mom heard his voice when we moved in. And let me tell you, look, I'm getting way off track, but you know how that happens. To tell you what's even stranger, because I was not born here. I think my mom was. I was not born here. I did not grow up here. I only moved here because my dad had a stroke and my mom and dad lived here. I found out after we bought this house that the original owners were related to me. Now go figure that one out. I had no idea. 1955 house. The original owners were related to me way before I was born. Freaky, freaky, deaky. Anyway, yes, I did this to myself. And I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off. So that's what made me think of this whole thing. I thought, God bless all the empaths at the holidays. Do they even think about how to take care of themselves? And when you feel guilty, yes, small world, and when you feel guilty because you have to make boundaries during these holidays, don't. But if you feel the least little bit guilty, I ask you to use open, how do I say it again? Ho'oponoponono. I think that's how you say it. And it's an old Hawaiian prayer. Ho'oponopono. I knew how to say it earlier. Someone say that for me. Ho'oponopono. It's a Hawaiian prayer for understanding and forgiveness. And what it means is 4 lines. It's 4 lines. And all you say is, I'm trying to remember. Hold on. I may have to look it up. And I've said it before. They taught us that in the spiritual church, too. You say, hello? Wait, I had it. Forgive me, wait. It's the sweetest thing. Open. Why can't I say it now? I'm not happy. I can't say it now. No. You say, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. It's like a mantra. You cleanse yourself of the bad feelings. You chant the mantra. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. You just have to think of the person that you're concerned that you've let down. Just think of the person in your heart. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. So you can release it. Release the guilt. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. So you can release it. Stop feeling guilty because you have to take care of yourself. The house you live in, Shelley, was last owned by relatives of Andy Warhol. Andy Warhol. Andy Warhol. That is very, very cool. Andy Warhol. Hello, Gourmet Thursday. I'm going to drop the link. How many of you empaths are just like severely affected by the holidays? I want you to fill your toolbox with ways to take care of yourself. Don't worry. You have to shield yourself. You have to create boundaries. Do things in pieces and parts. Buy your gifts online if you can. Forgive yourself, first of all. Stop worrying about disappointing people. That is not what the holidays are for in the first place. I also ask you to keep a little book each day. I know, and I had thought about it prior in a different way. And I know Busy has been doing it lately, but I ask you each day to think about and say it out loud. Say it out loud. Write it down. What you're grateful for. We have Thanksgiving and we kind of eat the food and talk about it in the family. And I'm afraid people don't really, I try to do it, but people don't really say what they're grateful for. And do you know it changes your home, the way your brain processes in the morning when you say what you're grateful for? It changes the way you look at things, your perspective, the way your day unrolls, literally. It changes the way your day unrolls when you really, with eyes wide open, say with your mouth what you're grateful for. Write it down, a couple of lines in a book, what you're grateful for. It changes the way your brain processes and the way your day unrolls. And when you do that each day, 2 to 3 weeks, you will start seeing an energetic shift, I promise you. You will begin to see an energetic shift in the way things are kind of going in your life, in the way you're feeling about things, in your own energy, in your interactions with people. If you try to make a habit of doing it for 2 and 3 weeks. Seriously, people have a problem with keeping up with doing things just 2 and 3 weeks. They drop the ball. They drop the ball. Such a simple thing to do 2 or 3 weeks for a few minutes. And they're like, well, I meant to do that. I should have done that. Such a simple thing, but we expect our kids to follow through, right? Hey, Gourmet Thursday. Anybody that wants to come up, hit that link. And while you're here, yes, I forget, what would I do? People need to remind me. And I see you in the bushes, and I love you in the bushes, and I would love everybody to make comments below. Give me your ideas, your thoughts, your questions. If there are things you wanted to ask you've never asked me, throw it at me. I have no problem. And if I don't know, I'll find out. For sure. Seriously. Ah, man, tomorrow's Stephen and my anniversary. It's our wedding anniversary. Will we go out? I don't know. We got so much to do around the house for Thanksgiving now, thanks to me. Sorry, Stephen. Sorry, Eden. See what I did to my family? Sorry, guys. It is our anniversary. We will be married 21 years. 21 years. Had to think about it. He's had to put up with me for 21 years. That is a long ass time. Sorry. I'm not monetized yet. That is a long ass time for him to have to put up with me. It is. I'm grateful for Stephen and Eden. I'm grateful for my son Noah as well. The word is ho'oponopono. 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 I said it earlier and got stuck here and couldn't say it. Ho'oponopono. Thanks, Rosemary. Ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono. Thank you, Shelley. Thank you, Arseny. And I'm still alive. Thank you, Kathy. I'm so happy to have you here. I can't tell who's on the picture, so I'll blow it up, but it looks awful cute. So usually on our anniversary, he takes me somewhere where I can eat seafood and he can eat steak, because I could live my life eating seafood and vegetables. Especially, I like lobster. I love lobster. And I like shrimp and stuff like that, but I love lobster. I don't like seafood with crunchy stuff on it. But yeah, I love lobster. My husband and my daughter could do without seafood. But anyway, I digress. I want to know, if you're empathic, what are you going to do differently this year to protect your energy? It is so, so important. And let me tell you other reasons why it's important to protect your energy. Your energy, thank you, also affects the neurons in your brain. It affects your health. True. It affects your health. It affects how you process information. The energy you're exposed to affects all your systems. It is important to cleanse it out. Even if you go take an Epsom salt water bath, light some candles, turn on some music that makes you resonate higher. I'm going to be working after the 1st of January to get as many spiritual interviews from people that have had near-death experiences, physicians, authors, as I can. I'm going to amp it up a little bit. Going to do that. RC says, oh my God, you read my mind just now. Oh, love lobster so much. Don't know why. Maybe I was a mermaid in another life. There is so much. And see, sometimes I have a little bit of trouble, can't talk, a little bit of trouble gearing the temperature of some of my viewers about how far to go when I'm talking about the other side. When I'm talking about near-death experiences, past lives, what goes on the other side, etc. Because I don't quite get enough feedback about what you guys want to hear about. Alternative medicine, energy healing, medical mediumship. There's stuff I could go into heavier, but I don't want to bore people. You know what I mean? Finish says, oh, I can see that Dana is a mermaid. I miss you when you're not around, Vintage. I genuinely do miss you when you are not around. You bring light to this chat and this channel. Shelly says, I love to hear about all of that. The problem is, I don't want to bore people. I don't want to go over people's heads with some stuff. So I can't wait to get a community tab so I get more feedback from people. I need it because this is your channel too. You know what I mean? I'll be happy when more people come up. I want to give the content that you want to hear. I want to give the content that you want to hear. I don't want to just talk to myself, and I don't want to just be blah, 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 blah. Arseny says, I like everything deep, have very few filters, and am politically incorrect to go, go, go. So go, go, go. I don't want to talk. I don't want to dive into people's religious preferences, and I don't necessarily want to get political. You know what I mean? Because right now, in my opinion, politics on both sides, messed up. They're just messed up. They're both egocentric and doing crap for the wrong reason, in my opinion. They both got too much in their ego, and in my opinion, I think the human beings of the United States need to band together and take back over the country because everybody's messing up. Democrat and Republican, in my opinion. I know, I wish I could go cuddle her, but Paranormal, my spirit and my heart is with you, and it's going to be good. It's going to be okay. Oh, you tell it how it is. Arseny, I appreciate people that go straight and tell me how it is, that tell the truth. I appreciate that. I don't like sugar. You can ask Shelly. You can ask Steve. You can ask Willow, Paranormal Witch. I appreciate that. As this channel grows and people get to know me better, they will get that. Look, even Shelly said she had to make a phone call to me and get to know me better and use her discernment. And I appreciate that so much. You do not know. People that take their time to get to know me as a human. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Excuse me. You just don't know. Give it to me straight, baby. So, yeah, I want to make this channel have substance and mean something. Hey, Gourmet Thursday's coming up. Hey, Gourmet.
Hi, dear Dana.
I'm so happy you're up.
I was trying to change my avatar. I would have come up like a few minutes earlier, but it just can't do it on my iPad. I don't know what's wrong.
Girl, I'm still learning.
But sorry I'm late. This is a really interesting topic, though.
I thought so because so many of us get so depleted during the holidays.
Do you hear an echo when I'm speaking?
No,
Oh, okay. So I mean, can I like share something with you?
please.
So I feel like I'm empathic, and
Y-
one of the things that I try to do, and I would love to see more on your channel about this, is how to like kind of hone my own strengths as an empath. Um, but with the holidays coming up, it's kind of sad because I just have a sister and my mother, and my sister has a couple kids, but my sister doesn't talk to any of us.
Oh,
So, and she makes sure that as best she can that her kids don't talk to us either. So it's just me and my mom, and it used to be like a big family. So I used to
yeah.
have a big family, and now it's just the two of us. Um, but what I've been doing recently, which I kind of like, is like, for instance, my sister's birthday was in October, and I told my mom, instead of feeling, bad about the fact that we don't have a relationship with my sister, why don't we go out to eat, at a nice restaurant and celebrate her birthday, just the two of us? And
Oh,
it felt, very empowering, as opposed to like kind of feeling sorry for myself or feeling bad for my mom or whatever that, my sister doesn't, talk to us. Um, and so now with Thanksgiving coming up, I made reservations for a nice restaurant with my mom, and we'll have, just kind of fancy stuff, something special. Um, so that's like one thing that recently I started doing to kind of not feel like victimized by
that's
my
a beautiful
sister.
thing. Yeah,
But it's still sad. Like when people say, "So what are you doing for Thanksgiving?" It's just sad to say it's just me and my mom.
yeah. Maybe sometime. And I'm just putting this out there, okay? Maybe sometime, if you want, you and I can talk on Zoom or something
Sure.
about trying to heal some of that, even if she doesn't talk to you, trying to spiritually heal some of the woundedness. Work on it in a spiritual way. Are you still there?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Because the pain and the woundedness is still inside. I mean, I
Yeah,
can,
it's very
I can, I
heartbreaking.
can, I can feel it from over here. And what you're doing is a very positive thing. But I know that your mom, as a mom, has it. Mm,
She's better at it than I am, I think, because she was burned so many times by my sister that she's kind of like, the less she hears from my sister, the better off she is.
yeah, it's
you
in her
know.
heart. It's in her heart as a mom. She just shows it. How do I put it? It's like playing poker. She has a better poker face. Your mom has a better poker face. Um, so at some point, something that because she has the two kids, right, and they're innocent in this. At
There's
some
three kids.
three
So her three
kids,
kids are in their 20s now, but she has
yeah,
one kid who's just turned 17. So we're doing the countdown until she turns 18, because then she'll be able to see my mom when she wants, cuz right now my sister won't let her.
right.
And she doesn't like when her other kids go and see my mom, but she doesn't have a choice in the matter there.
Something that your mom might think about doing for the 17-year-old or something. You know how sometimes you can purchase a star and name it
Yeah.
for the child, and it's for always. That's just a
Well,
thought.
how would you know which star it is?
I'm not sure exactly, but they map it, and
Because we live in Chicago, it's very hard to see a lot of stars.
yeah, but they give the quadrants. But anyway, it's just a thought.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great idea if you could look up in the sky and go, there's my star. But if you don't know where your star is,
And something they did for my son before he passed away, one of his teachers did. Sometimes they'll like do bricks in a new park and put names on them. There's just little things you can do.
I know.
Yeah, the research. Anyway, I'm just putting it out there. But
Yeah,
I understand what you and your mom are doing are very positive ways to help you heal, because like if I'm in situations like that or have been, I just project God's loving light onto people like that, so I can move forward in a loving way, because some things you can't control.
yeah. This is definitely something that, no one can control. I actually believe that from just research and, things like that, that my sister is probably like a borderline personality disorder.
Yeah, and let me
Um,
tell you about those personality disorders, because you know my background, right?
no, not really.
Okay, I'm a psychotherapist.
I knew
Oh,
that.
okay,
Yeah.
I'm a legit psychotherapist, and I had a near-death experience at age 12,
Have
and
you shared that with all of us? That's an interesting.
yeah, it's
Love
a
to hear that story.
and I'll probably tell it again, but at age 12, I legitimately went to the other side and came back. Some girls were playing the pass out game with me, and I went into cardiac arrest. So the gifts that I already had expanded over time. I'm just going to be doing a thumbnail. And my little boy passed away 4 years ago, but he was handicapped, and he couldn't tell me a lot of what was wrong in his body. And I was able to pick up on different things medically. But I also worked in hospitals anyway. Basically, it turned me into a medical medium in a lot of ways. So I don't know how to put it. I'm a lot of weird things, but I'm able to, I don't know how to put it. I'm an evidential medical medium, and I'm able to up on details of things. I don't know if Sarah's still here. Yes, Sarah's still here. I've known her since she was 19. She's in her 30s now. She's experienced some of the things that I can do. Some of the people in here have experienced it, but a lot of it's happened because of the I had him when I was born. Some of it's happened because of the near death. Some of it's my daughter's in here. She knows Eden.
Yeah.
Some of it's happened because of my little boy. It was out of necessity.
Yeah.
So a lot of the people come in here, and I'm sure you're an empath. A lot of people come in here. They've already been born with gifts. A lot of people are born with gifts, and they're untapped. Children are gifted and are open to things until age 5, and a lot of it gets shut down after age 5 by the world, by parents, by it gets taught out of them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I do get the sense, just from coming to your channel for a while, that you definitely have a powerful spirit and a good spirit.
Thank you.
Um, and that's why I keep coming back because I just think that you're one of the goodies. out there.
Thank you. And I love God. I saw God, and I've been connected to a lot of people, and I've been tested, and I'll tell you quickly because some of them heard, but when it happened to me, I didn't have anywhere to turn. My mom tried to help me, but I didn't have anywhere to turn. I was 12. I didn't understand, and I found a book called Life After Life. I didn't know it was a near death experience, but I was trying to understand what happened to me, right? And I read it, and I lived in North Carolina. Flash forward, I ended up in Georgia at a University of North Carolina. I transferred from another university, I mean, a University of West Georgia, sorry, from North Carolina. And I end up I've changed my major, end up in a psychology class, and it said staff for the professor. The book Life After Life was written by Dr. Raymond Moody. And if you look him up, it'll tell you a lot about him. And I end up in a class taught by Dr. Raymond Moody and Dr. William Roll
Wow.
years later. And he helped me break down. I thought I'd had a out of body experience. I didn't understand. And he broke down exactly what happened. I knew my heart had stopped because the girl held me up too long. I wasn't breathing. It'd been minutes, minutes, minutes. And went into cardiac arrest. I was blue. They thought I was dead. They were sure I was dead.
Hmm.
Um, and then I got tested extensively by Dr. William Roll. You can look him up too. Um, anyway, see how complicated life gets? Pieces and parts come together when you look back. My poor daughter, who's in the chat, has had to live with me this way her whole life with a weird mom.
Oh, well,
But
but what a beautiful gift. I mean, out of tragedy came a gift,
but
or
I lived
potential tragedy.
most of my life ashamed, not wanting people to know, not knowing what to do with it, afraid God, because people would think, this is against the Bible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then finally going to these meetings, these people, these professors, these doctors, these mentors, these physicians, these everybody, and realizing out of necessity, when my son was born like this, etc., I had these for a reason and I had to use them. And then I became a psychotherapist and I realized I could effectively help people and they didn't have to know and they didn't need me forever. Does that make sense? Some
Yeah.
people some people will go to therapy for years and it takes them forever to have a breakthrough. And I was able to help people get to their breakthrough quick. And then some of them became therapists or they became something else. But I didn't take their money forever, you know?
Hmm.
And if I can help in this channel in whatever way it is that people feel spiritually closer to their creator, that they accept their gifts, that they make a difference in other people's life, that it becomes a domino effect, that they help children, whatever way it is, then I have made a difference. And in the meantime, if I'm able to start the foundation for my children in honor of my son, then bingo. Sorry, I didn't mean to go on a rant,
No, that's okay.
but now you know why I'm here. But you, I connected with for whatever reason, and I've never seen you out of the gate. I feel you, but I've never seen you, but I can feel you.
Well, I tell you, you don't want to see me right now. I need to wash my hair. I'm like getting ready for bed.
but I could feel the spirit of you every time you were around.
Oh, thank you. I feel the same about you.
Thank you. But you just really have this lightness of being, this kindness, this way about you that wants to reach out to people. Um, and I do feel this empathic way, this way, you have this way about you that wants to make a positive difference in how people feel. I don't know what you do, but you just have this helping nature about you.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I'm more, they call us servant leaders.
Servant leadership, yeah.
Yeah. So I kind of like that role.
Yeah, if you look at my tags under this video, when it's over, you know how you put the hashtags?
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure it says servant leadership.
Oh, excellent. But yeah, one of the struggles, and I'd love to see you do, maybe some videos about this, but like kind of dealing with, if you're empathic, dealing with people with, personality disorders, where you can't fix them, there's no helping them really.
Borderline personality disorder, the sad part of it is one of the primary disorders that most psychologists and psychiatrists deviate from wanting to treat. I hate to say.
Yeah, because they're really untreatable.
I mean, there are some medications they try to treat. There are some kind of therapies they try. But yeah, I would say about 90% of them it doesn't work with.
Yeah, same with um like narcissists or sociopaths. It's kind of like the more information they get about human behavior, the more they use it to weaponize. Um, they'll use those tools to weaponize. Um, so it's really challenging to have a family member, who has this disorder because so many people don't understand it.
Yeah.
And then, if you say it like, oh, my sister's a sociopath or my sister's, got, BPD, no one knows really what that means and just how difficult that is to deal with. And, you know,
No, because sometimes they can come off charming and they can come off certain ways until you start looking deeper into it. And it's
right.
really quite scary in some ways. And they don't know where you start and where they begin sometimes. And they will try to take on, and I'm not talking about family, I'm talking about when they first meet others. Sometimes they will try to take on the personality of the individual that they meet.
Yeah,
They don't know the boundaries.
right.
Um, it's very creepy, and they will sometimes love bomb
Yeah.
new people that they meet to try to get under their skin. It's very complicated. It can be very scary. I'm sorry to say, I'm not trying to talk about your sister.
No, I mean, I'm talking about my sister, you don't, but I'm talking about the disorder, as a whole, because, I have somebody in my life with that. Um, and one thing that I've come to realize is she, she kind of abandons the family when, how do I say it? Like, for
When they
instance,
recognize what's going on.
well, she already knows that we know who she is. So, but what happens with her is, like, if I'm in a dark part of my life, like I went through a divorce a couple years back, she shows up and she's super supportive and fun and sweet and all these things, and keeps me company or whatever. But as I get stronger, she then backs away, and then we get into you know then things go horribly wrong, and I don't see her for years. And so I've come to the conclusion with her is that, like, when I'm at my most vulnerable, that's when she shows up. And so I want to be able to get like some tools in my toolkit for when those times do happen, that I protect myself and not, um, not kind of like fall back into it. Because what happens is, I get close to her, and then we share things, and we tell each other, because we're sisters, we tell each other, all kinds of secrets and all this stuff. And then when, as I get stronger, then she'll like tell people those secrets, or she'll do something to damage me in
Yeah,
some sort of way.
it's scary because they'll use it as weapons later,
Yeah,
or they'll flip it, and things that they are doing that is horrid, they will flip it and say you're doing. It's scary.
right. It's very scary. And, I want to be able to say, I will never be in a relationship with her again, or I'll stay far, far away, or whatever. But she's my sister, so I know that there will be times that I'll have to face her again.
Yeah,
And I don't want to forget who she is. You know what I mean? Like, I
right,
don't want to forget that the scorpion's gonna sting me.
right. Yeah. Vintage says, "Oh, Gourmet Thursday, I understand you. My sister's bipolar, and she hates coming home. Accountability is not something she enjoys."
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
My sister could never admit to doing anything wrong, anything at all.
the thing of it is, in the you have to be careful not to fall in the trap of the kindness. Although you enjoy it when they're kind, you
Right.
have to be. It goes back to anytime you know you're going to be in their presence, that you create that shield of protection. It not only protects you spiritually, because I always call down the angels, I do the prayer, I do the shield, it makes you aware before you're in their presence,
Yeah.
that you're aware of the capability, but you also feel shielded and protected. So each time you're in their presence, you get the protection, but you're also aware, so that you don't fall in the trap and become their supply. You know,
Exactly. The problem is, I don't know when something tragic or will happen. It could be years from now, and I'll forget. I'm just afraid that I'll forget. Like if my mom dies, for instance, then
right.
my sister will appear, and I'll want to lean on her and let her lean on me. And I'm just afraid that I'll forget that, she'll burn me later.
That's why you have to make it a daily. Remember when I said, well, you may not have been here. I said you have to make it a daily habit that you always do the shield, you do the conscious breathing, you do the shield of white light daily, 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 to where it is such a habit, a routine of something that you do for yourself, that you feel protected at all times and you are spiritually aware. That
Yeah.
it's not about a forgetting, it's about something you routinely do for yourself. You do the protection, you're self aware
I
that you
did get selenite.
good,
Recommended that, so I did get that
and that you have
from
some
my
kind of
friend too.
support. So if something, God forbid, does happen to your mom, that she's not the only one that you are going to.
Right.
It's just we have to build up our toolbox. I've gotten to the point recently that something that would have probably broken me down, I was calm as a cucumber. And I've been working on myself consistently and constantly lately. And I did it anyway. But girl, since I've gotten on YouTube, I sure have been doing it because I did not expect the YouTube experience for somebody like me to have any effect on me, but it does. So, when something happened recently, when I was around, I had to talk to somebody that was very negative, and it usually would have probably made me a little bit sensitive. I was like, "Ooh, thank you, YouTube." There's a lesson in everything. There is a lesson in everything. We have to work on ourselves daily, not just when we hit a roadblock or something hard or traumatic. You know what I'm saying? When I first lost Noah, I mean, I lost my dad, my grandparents. When I first lost my son, like I told them, I had to literally remind myself to breathe. Literally. And if I did not have my daughter, I don't know what would have happened. But I had to flip the switch and remember that I had the NDE. Noah's over there. He's giving us signs here. Literally, he started, and I can feel him. And I've got my daughter, and I've got bigger things to do, or I wouldn't still be here on earth. If you're still breathing, let me tell y'all something. If you are still on this earth breathing, there is something important you are still supposed to be doing. Truth. That's the truth. Or you still wouldn't be here. You didn't have to mute yourself, Gourmet. But that's 100% the truth. She knocked herself off. Why'd you go? I appreciate you coming up here, Gourmet. I hope I didn't upset her or something. And I will completely take her suggestions for stuff on the channel. Thank you for coming up, Gourmet. I don't know what happened. But if you are still here breathing on this earth, there is 100%. There she is. She popped back up. I thought I had upset you.
No, I muted myself because I needed to get some ice water while you were talking, and I didn't want to, disturb.
But you said you want us to hone strengths as an empath. I would like to have a spiritual class so anybody that wants to increase their abilities can.
Yeah, because they talk about like I don't know, Hayota empaths. I think that's what they call it. And then there must be other types of empaths too. And
Coyotes can get a little wild.
yeah. So, I mean, it would be good to know like what kind of empaths there are, what are their gifts, their strengths, how to protect themselves.
I'll probably do a Zoom after Thanksgiving. Yeah, I don't know if doing a class live on a YouTube is a good idea. You know what I mean? I think doing a class live on YouTube, I don't know if people do classes live on YouTube.
Um, well, I mean, I know I've taken some classes where YouTube videos were part of
Yeah,
curriculum.
we'll
Where
probably do a Zoom and use the YouTube as part of the curriculum. Because I teach on OutSchool, and that's what we do. Do Zoom and then use some of the YouTube to show certain things.
yeah. So I'm not able to see the chat, but does anybody else have this kind of experience that they want to talk about and call in? And I'll drop and listen to other people's
Oh,
experiences.
more than one can come up here. Usually,
Yeah.
Vintage isn't shy, but she's been shy lately. And
Yeah,
I mean,
because, sometimes, it feels lonely when you feel like you're the only person in this world that has like you know, what feels like a sociopath for a sibling. you know?
Vintage says she can totally relate with that.
Yeah, she should, come up and talk. Um,
How do her kids deal, Gourmet? Do you know?
well, not very well. She has an older daughter who doesn't talk to any of us. I mean, she pretty much raised her kids to feel like everybody was the enemy of hers. And so they're very guarded, almost feral. So the older one has no relationship with my mom or me at all, ever. Um, and when she was younger, I'd have her come over and she'd spend the night and I'd teach her to cook some things and, take her to the movies and stuff. And then, you know, as she got older, it was just like we just never saw her again. And then her son, who's like 20 now, he's on the spectrum, and they used to diagnose it as Asperger's.
Yeah,
So he can be, kind of challenging. Um, but he too was kind of raised without a lot of um, other family influences because my sister, most of the time kept her kids away from family.
yeah,
So, but he's very nice to my mom. He goes there like every other week and visits her. And they just came over this past weekend, and I made meatloaf and my mom made mashed potatoes, and I showed him a few, kitchen hacks and stuff like that, which was a rare thing. Like, he hasn't been to my place, in years. And then her youngest, who's 17, um, and very sweet, um, but she doesn't let her come and see my mom or me at all. And there was a time when she did, like when we were getting along, then she'd let her come over and I would go and do Uber Eats with her and we'd share the money that we made. So I got her kind of working a little bit, and um I'd try and teach her a few things, but as soon as there's ever a falling out, then she doesn't want her kids at all to associate with us. And but the girl, there were some abuse issues that occurred, and my sister didn't do anything about it, and then it got worse, and then I called DCFS, and ever since then, as you can imagine, she doesn't want anyone to talk to her daughter. But it was like I was put in a position where, what could I do? If I don't say anything, then I'm allowing this girl to be abused.
yeah,
And if I do say something, then I lose my relationship with my sister. So which alternative do I have?
yeah.
You-
That's
You know.
hard. If you see
It's
So
hard,
something,
but you did the right thing.
yeah,
yeah,
well, I mean, that's what I think too, but I don't then, I lose the relationship. And so that's the roller coaster that I'm on with my sister, and I want to get off, and I'm off the roller coaster now, and I don't want to get back on it,
yeah.
you
I
know.
mean, they're about grown now, so
Yeah.
yeah,
So I have like a little countdown on my phone for when my niece turns 18, so that she'll be emancipated and can make her own choices, and hopefully she'll choose my me and my mom as people she can come to if she ever needs support, or wants to just hang out, or whatever. And what's interesting, I'll just share this one thing, um, is you know right around the time that this abuse was occurring, I had just purchased like a duplex. so that my mom could stay in one section on the upstairs, and my sister and my niece could stay on the bottom floor. It was kind of a 2-story condo like thing and had
Just,
separate entranceways.
yeah.
And the day that my sister was going to move in, she wanted to move in one day before my mom moved in. And I thought it was weird at the time, but now I know why, because she wanted to hijack my mom's apartment, her floor. And I didn't really let her because I just was there, basically supervising. And my sister put like raw eggs all over the place, like, in the shell, but she put raw eggs all throughout the apartment. And I didn't know
Wow.
why she did that. And anyway, yada, yada, yada. She called the
Wait,
police
but
on
like,
me
wait,
5 times.
why did she do that? Is that voodoo? Was that voodoo?
So apparently, what it was, well, hold on, I'll tell you in a minute. But
Okay.
so she called the police on me 5 times because I couldn't get her a set of keys, because the day that I closed on the place was like right before a holiday weekend, and they only gave me one set of keys, and I wasn't going to get the other set of keys until after the holiday. And I had told her that, and I needed to make sure my mom was going to move in the next day, so I was holding on to the keys. But I was letting everybody in. It wasn't like I was locking anybody out. But because I wouldn't give her the keys, by around 3 or 4 p.m. that day, she called the police on me
So she
and
just decided to
continued
go
to call the
crazy.
police on me. And I just left. I just was like, I'm not going to
Yeah.
deal with this. I got in my car and left. Um,
Yeah, that
and
sounds about right.
in the end, I canceled the lease with her. And the next day, and I called a friend of mine and told him about the eggs. And he said, you need to take those eggs and put them in the lake, because the apartment's right off the lake. And I said,
Voodoo.
and yeah, she's very much into like the occult. She really wants to be a witch, but I really think she's more of a vampire than a witch.
Good gosh.
Um,
All the
and
things.
Emotional vampire.
so apparently these eggs are to get rid of any evil spirits in the
Yes,
place.
it's a
And
thing.
I
It's
said
a
to my
thing.
son, I said, it worked, because she got kicked out. She didn't even get to move in. The
So it
eggs worked.
backfired on her.
So I took the eggs, put them in the lake. She never moved in. I've never seen her since. And, but we're hoping that someday in the future, maybe my niece will be able to move in that downstairs apartment, and have a place, a safe place for her.
Palo Santo. Sage.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're on mute. You're on mute.
I'm on mute. Oh,
No, not vintage. Not
Dana.
vintage, dear Dana. Sorry.
She's still on mute.
That's a Dana thing. Are you sick, Vintage?
Hey, it's just a cough. But yes.
Oh, I hope you feel better.
Oh.
I have missed seeing your bright, shiny face.
Oh, thank you. My hair's gotten fluffier.
It's gotten so long.
I know. It's
I
ridiculous.
like it.
Yeah, it grows really fast.
I like it.
Thank you. It's almost Wolverine hair. I don't know why it just grows that way. Can you see it? It's like Farrah Fawcett. Do you remember like the 70s fluff?
It's almost that way.
It
Yeah,
is.
it's cute
Isn't
though.
it?
It's cute.
Take
Thank you.
a round brush and.
Yeah, I don't brush my hair.
It's just got the right amount of curl to it.
It's almost dreadlocks.
Mine looks like I stuck my finger in a socket all the time.
You gotta do the curly girl method. Do you do that, Dana?
No, this isn't all natural.
I know. I have natural curly hair too. So there's like certain techniques to get the frizz out and like really hydrate the curls, and so that
Wait, how?
I need somebody to
like
teach me.
Well, you want to get like those conditioners without the sulfates and parabens and all that stuff.
What, like
And
Diva Curl?
no, I wouldn't choose Diva Curl, but there's nice ones like Mop Top. I like Virtue, Olaplex. I'm using right now, and I kind of go back and forth between Virtue and Olaplex. But you definitely want a little moisture in your, you know, in your hair products, is because curly hair is kind of like your hair is drier.
Yeah, I use
And
something
then
with
when you put
olive oil in it.
conditioner, when you put your conditioner in, like
I've heard coconut oil.
scrunch it up, like really get it into the shaft of the hair, like
Yeah.
scrunch that so that you hear like the squish. You want to really, and then leave it in there for a while, and then
I don't take it out. Look, I put it in when I wash, and then I bet I have a handful of it where I just run it through my whole
yeah.
hair.
But there are videos like curly girl videos that
Hmm.
people, really show you some great techniques on how to like make the most out of your curls so you have just beautiful, bouncy, healthy, happy curls.
Thank you,
Yeah.
because this is like when, if I ever go to get my hair cut, they do not know what to do with this hair. It's not even. It's not even worth it. It's a waste of money.
Yes. Oh, I love that. I love that, that dubious look of like, well, what do you want? And I'm like, I don't know, something manageable. And they're just like,
I
Yeah.
go into a white people salon and they look at my hair and they're like,
Yeah. I go into any salon, they're just like, okay, so what are you looking for? And I'm like, I don't know. So I don't look like I walked out of Scooby Doo's van.
I mean, seriously, I'm always sad and disappointed when I leave and have to go back home and just rewash it and put conditioner in it and let it dry. It's a
Well,
waste.
they have like some salons. It's not hard. It's not easy to find, but there are some salons that are for people with curly hair, and they do like the curly haircut. But you know, I know whenever I go, because I'm trying to, I do my hair natural most of the time, where I just let it be curly and I don't blow dry it anymore. But when I go to a hair salon, it's like it's uncomfortable for them to not blow dry it.
Yeah.
They don't know how to let your hair be curly. So I just let them blow dry it straight because then it's like a rare treat for me. But you know,
I mean,
and then I put
yeah,
in like a daily conditioner, like a leave-in conditioner after, and maybe some mousse. Scrunch it in and just let it air dry and don't touch it until it's fully dry.
and see, that's an, I don't want to hurt their feelings when I leave. That's sad, isn't it? I go in to get my hair, and I don't go anymore. I go in to get my hair done, pay that money, and I don't want to hurt their feelings.
Sometimes I feel like being an empath, don't you sacrifice certain things? Just, you know what you want. This is a service. It's supposed to be a service. You're going to walk in there. You're supposed to know what you want. And then instantly like, oh, well, I guess maybe, yes. Okay. Just drape me in butter. Okay. And then you don't get what you want.
It's sad.
And then you feel worse.
Yeah.
So
And
any empaths in the chat, how many times has this happened where you actually go somewhere like, you know what? You get talked into something you don't want just to make someone else feel better.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's
seriously, good
what happened.
question.
Bet
How
you.
many people in the chat? It doesn't even have to be hair. Has this happened to you?
Yeah,
Yes
it
or no?
actually, don't make it hair because
I know. I find like if I go into a store and the lady comes to help me and like shows me all these things, I feel guilty if I don't buy it, even though I don't need it. And I have to force myself to like either I'll succumb and buy it and be like, I don't know, I didn't need to buy that, but I did feel
yeah, but you
bad.
see,
Even though
Is
it's her
betrayal
job.
really even the right word to use? Like, if you have to succumb to something, I, like I went shopping and I succumbed to like buying these bagel bites.
That
You
doesn't
know,
sound
like
quite right the way you said that.
yeah, like that's not that is not the way to walk out of some kind of that's almost extortion, isn't it?
Hey, JC Bear. Thank you for.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jason Bear, you need to be coming up on here. You need to
his class and work went late. I know. Yeah, it's like
wait.
when
I'm
you
gonna fluff myself for him. You need to be coming up in the chat.
see. I knew we needed some vintage optimism in here. Yeah, it's like you give in to people because you want to make them happy, or they sold it well, or you feel sorry for them because they cut your hair and you really hate it, but they put some energy into it, and you're like, well, this is shit. Sorry for my language, but
No, it's really because they were just talking to you for a half hour, like, oh my God, hey, how are you? Like, they're not even listening to what you want. Like, usually it's just about pushing a product or something like that.
or you're thinking they've been cutting hair for a long time. Surely they have seen hair like this. Surely.
Or you're a unicorn and no one has seen a mane such as yours.
The
That
in
is also
between
a
kind of hair.
possibility. We're not sure.
Lord have mercy.
But I will tell you that I watched a video one time a couple years back on empaths and the difference between an empath and like a non-empath or something like that. I don't remember exactly. But the woman basically described empaths as being just pushovers and weak and, you know, and I just heard that and thought, okay, I do not want to be that kind of empath. I do not want to be perceived as like, like what like a floor mat, where somebody can just walk all over me or something like that. So, but I know I do feel guilty when, when somebody, is helping me and then I need to like step away or something. But anyway, I want to be a strong empath.
I agree with you. Oh, Bear in the house.
Narcissists are attracted to empaths.
Bear in the house.
But if you know you're an empath and you get the tools in your toolbox, empaths can be very gifted and very needed. They just need to know how to direct their gift, and they need to know how to put up great boundaries. Right, JC Bear?
Go on, Bear.
Yes, you have to protect your energy at points. Hey, I'm here for the turkey and stuffing coming up. There's an American Thanksgiving coming up, and I want in.
You would have a good time at my house, honey. There's always too much food. Too much.
Not when I'm there. I'll be bringing Tupperware, and I'm bringing it back home with me, or to the hotel. I don't care. I'll bring.
I usually make a turkey and put seasoning and a little bit of alcohol on it, just to give it, because it burns off.
Yay!
And then I make
to get the crust.
Green beans with bacon and potatoes, and I season it just right. And I make a sweet potato casserole. I make a blueberry cobbler, a broccoli cheese casserole. I make rolls. I make do I make another dessert? I don't know if I do.
You like to deviate between savory and sweet in your combos.
Yeah. And then
I love that because you can get that whole texture and flavor. You get that sweet, and then all of a sudden you get that little hint of savory coming through. It's like, And I like grits, and I like greens. I like it all.
My mom is making dressing and gravy, and my brother likes what is that cake that has the coconut and stuff on it?
Flan?
Oh,
It's chocolate, but it's a chocolate cake, but it has a coconutty, nutty frosting.
Yeah, I
Lobster?
can see it, but I don't know the proper name.
German chocolate. She's making a German chocolate cake because he
Well,
likes.
Gourmet Thursday, if you got food stuff, hey, talk to me, baby. Talk to me.
Oh my gosh. You
We
just
always
had
have.
a blueberry cobbler.
I'm a
Fresh.
blueberry freak. That's my. I always have to have blueberries around.
Well,
I was just talking to my girlfriend about blood types and like doing the blood type diet. And she said, because I'm an A positive, she said that berries are probably like my food of choice for my blood type. And I love blueberries. That's like my favorite.
Mine too.
That's interesting. So you know how in America, like, oh my gosh, you're a Scorpio or you're an Aquarius. People go into those signs. When I was in Japan, everyone wanted to know your blood type. So if you're an A type, it's like, oh, you're a little bit more anal retentive and you like organizing. And
right. She was talking all about stuff like that.
Yeah, like it was actually kind of interesting because nobody really cared about what month you were born. It was like, what's your blood type?
What if you're O positive?
Oh wow.
Oh, positive. Oh my
That's
God.
like
You are like you're like a super empathetic person.
And you like meat, apparently.
Yay!
She's an O blood type. She's like, and that's why I always have to have meat. I
But
wish
she
I
likes
was
lobster.
a fruit.
It's like seafood meat. Like, like if the mermaid was gonna go for a steak, she'd be like, yes, I want lobster.
Yeah. She then proceeded to say, because I'm an ape, I'm a witch and she's a vampire, and it just got really weird. We like totally went down a rabbit hole with blood type.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Oh, thanks
wow.
for that.
Apparently, I had no idea.
How did you know? I took DearDana's test on her videos, but been like that since I was a child, Renee Rod. I had a test on my videos?
You actually, I think you may have. Sometimes you ask curious questions and people actually do homework.
Okay, I'm confused. Maybe I did. I don't know. I never know what I'm going to do.
But you know what? I really do believe that empaths can push their feelings or their needs on people coming, like when you're encountering them, if you have like a very strong boundary limit. Like,
what do you mean?
For example, I actually had plumbers in today because I was battling a backed up sink and leaky bathroom faucets. So these guys were amazing. Don't even laugh. So,
I'm sorry, you had some plumbers come in.
Yeah, plumbers, but not the plumbers that I was looking for. Okay,
a leaky backed up sink.
That's right, and a backed up sink. The pipes were plugged. The whole thing. We'll talk later, vintage. You naughty mink.
You know, I had I had a hot plumber 2 days ago. I lie to you not. I didn't have him. He was here and I saw him, but Eden let him in. Anyway, I digress. Finish, Jackie Bear.
Oh, okay. Oh, we're getting into the well. Anyways, they readjusted the pipe under the sink, so now there's a full flow. Yeah. But anyway, but no, it's like every time I'm going to them, they're like, well, your pipes are really bad and this and this and this. I said, okay, well, give me worst case scenario. And I'm like, I'm praying, I'm going, please make it work. Please make it work. They actually, trust me, they busted their hump and they made it work. So I don't need new piping underneath my sink. Things are working fine. So, I think you can actually put that out there in the universe to people to, really, try their best for you. And I think, today it actually worked for me because they're like, we want to save you some money. Do this like this. This is how you maintain them. Go back to using like just regular vinegar once a month. Make sure the pipes are clean. None of that Drano or stuff like that, just to keep everything flowing.
I get that. I
But I
like
mean,
that.
but here's the thing: these are two guys. I'm a guy. Normally, they would assume that I would know that. Assume, yeah, yeah, not like that. But well, okay, one was kind of cute. Anyways, but I digress. Stop that. Stop that, Dana. Stop that.
Okay.
But I mean, here's the thing: it's like sometimes you can say, help me, like guide me, like do stuff, and it responds in people when you're honest with them. And I think if you're an empath and you're really putting that out there, um, these guys were great. They told me, gave me different options for the shower stuff. Um, Decent deal. Uh, and
I
really,
like
they
that.
spent like an hour, and they really were. And I just think it's because I was putting it out there.
I
Because
completely.
others, I honestly do think that, because a lot of times people would be like, "Well, no, you're kind of screwed. You got to get this done."
Well, I
But no,
always think that the
go
Simpsons
ahead.
episode, the Simpsons episode, the Stonecutters, where Homer's like, I got a pipe that's clogged, and he's like, that's gonna take about 3 months to get the part, and he's like, really? What if I shake your hand like this, and all of a sudden it gets done? Like,
Yes,
it's the secret handshake. I don't know, if you put it out there, I think you get it back.
No,
yeah,
I agree with you both. It is weird.
About the
Look,
cartoon, thank you.
look. This we had somebody come in. We had hole, a piece of our ceiling fell into the kitchen. I kid you not. We put a new roof on this house when we moved in, and they forgot a spot. Duh. So it rained, and a piece of our ceiling in our kitchen fell in. We had one guy come out here and give us an estimate for $2,500 to put.
Oh,
Our kitchen is not that big to put a new ceiling in the kitchen. I was like, no way in. So called another
that
guy.
would give me palpitations.
Yeah, right. So I called another guy, and he came out here, and he said, $300. I had been doing what J.C. Bear said, $300. So he came out here, and he put it up and stuff, and he said, "Just give me a call when you're ready for the trim to come up." He hasn't taken any money. Now listen, plumbers came out 2 days ago. Whoever originally owned the house never put hooked the plumbing up all the way.
Mhm.
The house was built in 1955. So the plumbers came out. One was hot. Eden assisted him. I just happened to see him because I wasn't going to deal with it.
would you like some lemonade? It's a
Yeah,
hot,
right.
it's a hot Georgia day.
Eden in the chat. Did you serve him lemonade?
So they finished it. Well, Eden was in the family room with the door shut, and they just went ahead and left and didn't bother. They give Stephen a call and said, "We got it all done. We'll meet up with you sometime to get some money." What plumber does that?
No one that I know of. I mean,
Just leaves and doesn't get some money.
well, mine said if
That
I
must
pay
have been
cash, I don't
some
pay tax. But I
lemonade.
mean,
Eden? No, just joking. Never mind.
or maybe some sweet tea.
But I'm just saying,
Yeah, sometimes really, when you really put it out there and really concentrate on putting it out there, it's amazing how people can respond.
you going to bed? Hold on.
Did
Did
you
you eat? What? Okay.
Yeah, it's true.
did you eat? Did you eat, Dana?
I never eat before a show. Hold on.
Lord,
He said he's going to bed. He goes, "You've got food in the fridge." They were tearing up the counter. There was holes in the wall. Look, I have painted the whole kitchen, the cabinets, everything, because when they replaced the ceiling and the fixture, everything looked bad. I had to do the whole thing.
I can imagine, but no, when you were talking about empaths and narcissists and all that. It's just I just had to relate. Like today, they came in, and I guess whatever I was putting out, it responded to them, and they were just absolutely amazing tradespeople. It's like, no, this is how you cut a deal. No, don't say it's an emergency because we put you into a higher like pay bracket, when you're calling them, unless you're really flooding.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, they were just providing me with like, okay, no, this is what you want to do. Like, hint, this is how you want to pay, and I'm like, oh my god, like people really do respond when you really put stuff out there.
I love it when they're just human beings and not trying to take you to the cleaners or take advantage of you, or when people are just being good humans. Good humans. You know how much I love good humans. Seriously.
Yeah.
Just be a real person.
But I mean, in a situation where there is a manipulative person in your house, or there's that relationship, like as an empath, are there any tools that we can have to sort of?
We just need to really work on ourselves to be. It's got to be on the daily. I have found, like, I have got to be on the daily aware to take a few minutes every day. If the only thing you do is that conscious breathing, if the only thing you do is take 2 minutes of that conscious breathing and imagine the sunshine just poured all its light down on you, that it had a leak, and that you're going to use that light to make a snow globe of protection around you.
A golden shower of protection.
And like a snow globe. Like that snow globe?
A snow globe, you mince. A snow globe.
No, that's cold. That's cold. To make, I use a cocoon of white light around me. And I always call on Archangel Michael, Uriel, Gabriel, and Raphael. Those are my 4 go-tos. Michael,
Oh,
Uriel.
you don't go low level. You hit the top 4, don't you?
Yeah.
I go to Michael for sure.
Before every one of these streams, I go to Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, Uriel. And listen, I will not start a live until I have a certain tone that tells me I'm connected. If it's a broken tone, I won't go on the live because that means I'm not connected. I know that sounds crazy, but there's a certain tone I have to hit.
No, that makes perfect sense to me.
Because I'll know that I'm completely connected, and it makes sense to her. She knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it makes sense to me too.
I've done the thing, and when I've hit that tone, it's like the phone ringing. I can feel it in here.
That's the frequency.
Yeah, it's the frequency I have to hit, and then I come on. So you might see me delayed a minute and not a minute. If it's broken, I know I haven't made the connection. So I do it every time before I come on here. So when you do your little thing, when you do your breath work and you've made your connection, whatever your connection means to you, and you wrap yourself, it doesn't take but a couple of minutes, people. But you make a habit every day, and you will feel it inside of yourself. You'll literally feel it. It is your tool. And it helps your awareness when you're running into certain things with people. And as it gets stronger, you will feel the difference. Because now, instead of getting emotional or hurt or something when I'm feeling that certain energy from people, all of a sudden I get this weird calm. It's just this weird protected calm. And I'm able to discern whether it's something I'm reacting to or it's something they need to deal with. Do you know how cool that feels at this age to actually be able to do that now? It took a long time.
Oh
seems
yeah,
quite
yeah. Something like that doesn't just happen overnight.
Oh, heck no. Used to, I'd get my feelings hurt, or I would cry, or whatever. Or it would bother me, and I'd beat myself up and go, okay, what part of this is my fault? I need to figure out what's my fault.
So Dana, let me ask you, you know how narcissists are attracted to empaths?
Oh, heck yeah, because they get their food from them.
Yeah. So like sometimes it concerns me, like if you put yourself out there and say, I'm empathic, or we're going to talk about empaths and blah blah blah, like would narcissists then come to the channel to, or you know what I mean, not just your channel but just come to you because all of a sudden you've now exposed yourself, or you've shown your cards, and now you're more um susceptible or vulnerable to an attack?
Um,
What?
they might try, but it would be less doubtful because they know you're more aware. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it would probably go to people that are less aware that they're empaths and use them as victims. Or
Yeah,
you know
got
what I'm
it.
saying?
Yep, yep. Yeah,
Because
this is probably why my sister struggles with me, because you know I'm more aware of who she is, and she can't, just kind of play me.
Well, to be honest, if your sister is anything like my sister, she doesn't want accountability. So the fact that you
yeah,
know certain mannerisms,
it drives them crazy.
like she doesn't want to get read. And if you can, her in a certain level that's more intimate, and when she's trying to personify certain things, she can't get away with that nonsense. That's probably why she gets defensive and
Yeah,
unfortunately
Yeah.
possibly aggressive, or she puts her barriers up or something like that.
Yeah.
If she's anything like my sister,
Yeah,
because
she's done both to me.
oh yeah, no, my sister is the queen of crazy. So
Is she older than you?
my
Or
stepsister,
younger?
yeah, she's 40, so she's 2 years older than me.
Okay.
or they get attacky or defensive, or yeah.
Yeah, but she's my stepsister, so it's a different situation. So my stepfather adopted me, so I still, like, it'd been a month until she came home, and he was really lonely. And even though I talked to him, I'm not his biological child.
Yeah,
So sometimes I have to mediate certain
yeah.
things. Keep in mind, they're both born the same day, and they're both Capricorns, January 3rd. So these two, like, it's really adorable to see them shuffle around each other. But sometimes I know what you mean when you have to take that kind of emotional sacrifice and just put yourself on the back burner for family.
But you still have to protect yourself.
Yeah, that's why there are certain mantras and things that you can do for yourself. And always, I feel like if you schedule time and are aware of the duration of, you also need to be able to take what you want out of the experience. It's not all about them.
Yeah.
That's the best way to mediate it.
And step away, have boundaries,
Yes,
breathe. Yeah.
yes. That's the best way to deal with it, because it's family. It's unfortunate, but it's family, and having those tools can actually help, especially with the holidays where there's the added stress. Having those kind of things, who knows? You might have a good Thanksgiving or a good Merry Christmas. Or for me, oh my gosh, it'd be a mitzvah for a Hanukkah.
But you still have to, different people have to decide what toxicity
That's true.
they're
That's
willing
true.
to accept in their life.
But that's also knowing your triggers as well.
Yeah.
So being self-aware and having an open line of communication. My problem is usually having an open line of communication with someone that's a narcissist. Like my sister is a bipolar too, so she's a unique form of human. So knowing exactly what her triggers are helpful for me to maneuver through a conversation.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I got it up. Shoeless One Steve says, "Can I ask everyone that's here to invite one friend next week to subscribe? We probably no. When's Thanksgiving?
Next Thursday.
Okay, we probably won't have a Wednesday show. I don't know yet because I'll probably be killing myself trying to make Thanksgiving dinner the night before. I don't know yet. So, but we'll have a Saturday. We'll have a Saturday and Saturday for sure. But Wednesday, I just don't know. But yeah, if people can invite friends, that would be great. What?
Saturday, you'll be having, those little leftovers, those turkey sandwiches with a little bit of the leftover stuffing, the remaining of the cranberry, and just have it nicely toasted. So that way you slice it and you're like, oh,
I've never had that together in a sandwich like that.
What?
I haven't.
Turkey with a little bit of stuffing and a little bit of cranberry in between.
Turkey, cranberry, a little bit of gravy, maybe in a panini press, so it gets like, oh my goodness.
I'll have to try that. I've never done that before.
Oh God, yeah. And
JC Bear and I are going to start our own cooking channel.
I know, you should.
If you have a little bit of the turkey gravy left over and you have the nice parts of the turkey, and just a little bit of cranberry and a little bit of stuffing left over.
Oh, yes.
And you pour some of that hot gravy over it, and you're just there and you're looking at it and you're going, come to me. And then you're like, slicing it and just, And especially when you have that last slice of pie or blueberry crumbler, and you know that you got that French vanilla ice cream that you can finish up with it. Oh God, yeah, it's like heaven.
That's a baritone. That's that's not just a bass. That's an
That's like
yeah, French vanilla blueberry.
Bear happy. Bear, go to sleep now.
JC Bear talks about he needs a food ASMR channel. He talks about food like it's sex.
Oh my God. Well, yeah, I mean, especially during, what we've all been through the last little while. I mean, really, we got time to, perfect our cooking skills. I can actually do poached eggs now with confidence.
Hey,
I was so happy with myself.
Bear, you did not know how to poach an egg.
Well, I did, but the problem was
But I know you just put vinegar but I mean, I'm still like hesitant to poach an egg.
Gourmet! Oh my god!
Yeah, I learned the technique. You put the pot on the stove, you bring it up to a boil, then you turn it down so it's just bubbling a little bit, little bubbles coming up, and then you take your eggs. You don't crack them and put them in. You put them in another bowl. You slowly let them slide in to be encompassed by the warm, hot waters. And then you wait about 3 minutes, and then you take the pot off the hot burner so it doesn't continue cooking, and you scoop. And then you have your toast. And if you like avocado, or if you're like me, a nice piece of female bacon, you guys call it Canadian bacon. You put that on. You sprinkle a little bit of pepper, a little paprika if you like it a little more spicy, and there's a nice lunch.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. You got to have some fun.
Dude, seriously, you should start like an ASMR channel.
Oh, I can even make simple French dressing with a plain salad. I
He
can make
just
it
needs to
sound
talk
like,
about food.
oh yeah, it's like, because food is like meeting so many different people because everybody's their own flavor. So you get rid of the bitter ones, or you learn to sweeten them up a bit.
That's true. Facts.
Okay,
Yeah.
Steve, what are you talking about? He said, I felt some recently and felt tingles running through my hands. What did you feel? Did you feel food?
Or did you just feel JC Bear's voice just going through your head like, oh my gosh, the citrus?
JC Bear, you just need a channel talking about food.
No, I seriously, no, he could just like read a cookbook.
I know.
Yeah, like 2 eggs.
JC, I think I need a night just for you to read about food. I'm serious.
Oh my God, that would be funny.
I remember
I'm serious.
you and Shannon Van had that sexy channel for like 1 or 2 like 1 or 2 episodes. I remember you talking real slow about how to use different kinds of creams.
Listen,
Yes.
who would be interested in the chat?
Yeah, no, yes, put a 1 in the chat.
If we had one night where JC Bear just read about food.
And then you fold in the egg whites slowly.
And it would be real recipes.
Oh, that would be fun.
And I'll show pictures of the food he's talking about.
And please, baked goods or, for example, a meringue.
Oh, a nice
Could
tangy
you tell me how to
lemon.
beat the whites?
Oh, you have to take the egg whites and you have
to beat
you
them
have to
real
whip
good.
them into peaks, and then that's when you whip.
I think I'm going to try it and see what happens with JC Bear. I'm going to get with you, JC Bear.
Yeah, I bet you will get with him.
Oh my God. And then you also have to look at, are you going to pair it with a nice red or white or maybe a rosé?
He's like a grown-up
Because
Winnie the Pooh to me.
What do you mean he is like a grown-up? Look at his picture.
No, I'm talking Winnie the Pooh.
He's a man.
I've got the belly of Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, bother.
Cuddly little fuzzy all stuffed with fluff.
But it's the truth. When you're cooking something and you're cooking with love,
yeah,
when you're serving it to people, they can feel it. Same thing with plants. They can feel when you're having a bad day and you're talking with them and when you're having a great day. And it's all about that energy that you've taught me that, if you put it out there. And it's the same thing with your food. When I'm making an Italian sauce for pasta, I talk to that baby until it like is nice and simmering. And then I start adding in all the different guest flavors. It's like,
we celebrate Thanksgiving because the settlers came to the land over here in America and they shared their food to celebrate landing in this country. So every year we have Thanksgiving. We have family and friends and have a big feast to celebrate landing in the
New World.
Continent, in the New World.
Canada has the same thing, but ours is in October. And ours basically officially was more of a harvest type of Thanksgiving celebration. It has some roots where Aboriginals and the French Canadian people, when they were first in Canada, were celebrating different feast days and so forth. And eventually it evolved into more of a harvest, bringing in the harvest type festival, Day of Thanks for what you have. We also have Victoria Day over here, Shoeless One, which is in celebration of Queen Victoria, not the previously longest reigning monarch, not the current longest reigning monarch.
He said, "Oh, that's why they drink loads of beer here, as they were all convicts." What?
Yep, you were a prison colony, but we still love you, our Commonwealth cousins.
But listen, talking about energy, and empaths feel it. But if you take something like cut roses, and we know typically they don't last that long in a vase, right? But if you were to take your energy, and I talk about energy healing, It's like Reiki, it's like quantum healing, etc. And I'll literally do energy healing, so to speak. And I'll take my hands around the vase of roses. And I'll send love and I'll send energy healing around roses and other flowers. And roses that would typically last alive, what would you say, in a vase? Where they stay healthy and fresh looking? How long?
I'd usually say 5 days, maybe max.
I can get mine to stay looking alive and fresh 2 to 3 weeks
Oh, wow.
Wow.
That is
after
a
I
lot
do
of
energy
information.
healing. And I'll take photos of them. And if there are other kind of flowers, even longer. So you yourself, if you start practicing energy healing, and I may start doing classes on here, but some people have more of the healing ability than others, but you can practice and you can amp it up over time. But if you take flowers and start sending love and intention in your energy into the vase, you can make the flowers last longer.
Uh,
You can
I,
send
Hopefully that.
energy to your animals and they'll respond.
I've been doing Tai Chi, and
Ooh,
there,
cool.
there's one move in the second of 24 where you have to put your hands together, and I've noticed when you close your eyes a little bit, you can actually see the color of your aura.
Yeah. And do you know if you focus around people that you know, it's almost like you kind of blur your eyes
Yeah,
and
I've
do the
heard about it, but I haven't seen it yet.
okay. You know the breath work I've taught you, right?
Yeah,
If you work more on the breath work a little each day and you blur your eyes onto someone that's still, you can start to see just the light energy around their body. And as you get more proficient at it, you'll be able to see just slight colors around them.
yeah, I heard about it. Right now, I can only do this one,
Yeah.
so I can see my color aura, but I haven't been able to project yet.
But as I said, look, the spiritual journey is a blessed journey, okay? And it's connected to your creator. It's not a woo woo thing. It's a blessed journey, but it's a hard journey. And you have to practice every day. It's an
Six
ongoing
days a
thing.
week.
Do what now?
I do 6 days a week, Tai Chi.
Yeah, that's an awesome thing to do. I'm very proud of you. It's awesome and it's very calming, right?
Yeah, it's really funny though because the teacher's dog Tofu comes by, and Tofu likes to jump on you, and I kind of personally feel that every time I'm making an incorrect move, he barks at me. Like maybe that's me being too empathetic, but I swear every time, like, and I know when I'm doing an incorrect movement.
Yeah.
And then I just hear like Tofu, and he'll sit in front of me and just be like, woof. Like no one else. So
He's like, you get me. I'm telling you.
well, it's hard to be confident when you're embarrassed.
When the pup is turning around to you and saying, "I know what you're thinking," woof, woof.
Well, I thought, I'm a Scorpio, so maybe I'll bring my pit bull and I'll just tie her by the tree.
Oh my goodness. Whenever I said, JC Bear, you're such a sweet person. Yes, he is.
Isn't
Oh,
he?
that's very kind.
And it is such a joy when you're here, too. We have missed you, Vintage, and I love you, JC Bear.
Oh, we got that. One day I'll get down your way. Dear God, they'll be kicking us out of the bistro or cafe. They'll be like, "But you two go home."
But I hope that all of you have gotten more tools about, sort of making good boundaries. And look, I know I keep sound like a broken record. I cannot stress enough about making a habit of taking a few minutes, doing breath work, surrounding yourself with a shield of white light, call upon angels. Seriously, call upon them. As you do it, you will feel the difference. Call specific ones that resonate with you. You will feel the difference. Again, unless you ask, they can't help you. Unless you're about to die and it's not your time, you have to ask because you have free will. You have your own free will as a human being. They cannot intercede unless you ask. So do so. That's why they're here. I'm not just blowing, wind up your skirt or up your pants. We have spiritual things going on in the world that we don't take advantage of. So, ask and you shall receive. It's like J.C. Bear said, if we put certain things out there, if we just ask or put certain energetic things out there, we will get it back. A lot of times we just don't. Either we're embarrassed or we don't want to, or we're putting more of our energy out trying to make other people feel better than we are just trying to, we have to have spiritual balance. There has to be balance. So you ask as well. You put up boundaries for yourself as well. You have to pour from a full cup, not an empty cup. Let me put it this way. If you are going to go somewhere and invest your money in a certain machine to get a drink or some food, are you going to go to the ratty one? Or are you going to go to the one that looks clean and upgraded and well protected and taken care of? Which one are you going to put your money into?
Upgraded.
Thank you. So you need to do that to yourself. Make sure that you look clean and upgraded and taken care of. Think of yourself like that machine. Nobody wants to go to the ratty one. So when you think of it like that, it makes more sense, right? There has to be spiritual balance.
True. And I can't remember. I thought it was you, Dana, but I may have heard it somewhere else, that we always have so much concern over our money and our finances, but we should put the same amount of time into ourselves as we do on our money and finances.
Yeah, exactly.
Because you can have all the money in the world and be the most unhappiest person.
Yeah.
And you can have just a little bit in the bank, and the world's your oyster. So you got to even it out.
Absolutely. It's so funny how we're always worried about the money, but we don't look at ourselves. We don't give ourselves that same value. So we have to be in this moment that we have right now and feel better about everything. And all of this, they used to make fun of people that talked about the energy and this and that and the other, but now scientists are finding there's really something to it after all. Yeah, there is. So use your spiritual tools, especially during this holidays. Don't feel bad about creating boundaries. Don't feel bad about, literally using protection. Take time out. Don't feel like you have to say yes to everything. Say no to some things.
And also planning. Planning is key.
Oh, absolutely. And step away when you have to.
Absolutely.
Breathe, do breath work. Just be very mindful. And each day, be grateful for something. It changes the way your brain processes. But that is my lecture for tonight. Please like, subscribe, and share. Are you proud of me, J.C. Bear?
Yes, you remembered.
Invite your friends. We're doing better. I want to make a difference with this channel. I love that Vintage came, and I love that Gourmet Thursday came up. Oh, I love that J.C. Bear came up, and all of you in this chat. Please throw your comments below about what you'd like to see more of. And if you'd like to buy me a coffee, you can do so at miracles3@charter.net. I love and adore all of you. I hope that you are doing well, and I shall see you on Saturday night. Have a lovely week.
Thank you, Dana.
Thank you.
And heartfelt to paranormal.
Everyone.
Yes, everybody give Willow a big old
yes
positive vibes.
Full
She
on
5.
butterfly love.
Yes, she has her surgery at 8:30 in the morning. Keep her in your chats and loving energy and productive energy. And I'm calling down the angels to her. She will do great.
She will.
Yes, she will.
Remember, your vibe attracts your tribe, and that is the truth.
Chicka boom, chicka boom, chicka boom, chicka boom.
Bow
Yeah.
chicka pow pow.
Bye.
I'm going to find
Ciao.
some original music for this channel. We need it. We can get down. Oh, so we can put it behind JC Bears talking about food.
Yes, slowly playing a little Marvin Gaye, maybe a little Barry White as
we get
we
kicked
fold
off.
the eggs.
We can't have them. We get kicked off. Has to be original.
Yeah, that's true too. Oh my God.
I like to melt some butter. Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Make some.
And a lovely Beaujolais to go with it.
Oh damn, some bolognese.
But it's right in her lip.
Bolognese.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, bye guys.
Never gonna have to add
Yeah.
vintage to the sexy food talk.
Yes, sexy food talk.
Y'all have a great one. Love you
You
all.
too.
And
Ciao.
we are out.
Go eat something. You
I know.
haven't had dinner and you're still alive.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.